Speaking of mind-blowing stuff, the critics and the media are trashing Chris Pratt because it's basically an anti-woke series that he's doing called The Terminal List. And by the way, I love this show. I'm about 4 episodes in. If you have not seen Chris Pratt's Terminal List here, fabulous show. Episode 1 might be one of the greatest TV episodes I've ever seen, maybe top 10. It's that good. And I'm not exaggerating that. I'm not trying to play it up. I was really blown away, and I don't know if it's just because I had low expectations because it's on Amazon Prime, but damn, what a freaking great show it's been so far. A thrill ride. It gets you guessing. It does literally keep you wondering what the heck's going on. Absolutely phenomenal show. And it's not just me that likes it. Literally, audiences are raving about this show. If you don't have an Amazon Prime account, go get one or use somebody else's because damn, awesome show. So mainstream critics and the liberal media are basically panning Amazon's new series, The Terminal List, which obviously hosts actor Chris Pratt. It was written by Jack Carr, former Navy SEAL. And they're going over all of this. But audiences love the fast-paced, testosterone-infused thriller. And Chris Pratt looks great. He acts great, and so does everybody else. And it's written great as well. Season 1 of the series is sporting a rough 37% approval rating among critics. Never look at the critics score. Vast majority of the time they get it wrong. Again, I'm in the Screen Actors Guild. I see what comes through. I hear things behind the scenes of what takes place on things. And let me tell you, folks, a lot of times they don't have a clue what the people like and what the people want. There are a lot of these left-wing people that are basically anti-Trump, anti-this, anti-that, and they want to see this artistic thing, this artistic future that pushes the LGBTQ trans message, and if it doesn't, then that's why you get the 37% right there. BuzzFeed deemed it an unhinged right-wing revenge fantasy, and a Variety review called the series a dour, miserable sit, one that would be rough to take as a 2-hour film and has been inexplicitly routed up to 8 hours. It's a freaking thrill. I don't know what the hell they were watching, but again, because it's Chris Pratt, he's a Christian, he loves God. Furthermore, it's a pro-American film. None of this trans LGBTQ stuff being pushed in front of your faces, just pure Americana, greatly written, very similar to Top Gun. They don't like it because it goes against everything they believe in. They don't like America, folks. It's Variety and BuzzFeed. Do you think these are people, these are outlets that actually like America, capitalism, military, all that stuff? I don't think so, folks, according to Trump. They're gross. Okay, we get what you do. We see through the smoke. Right? You hate America. Sit down, Jim. Jim Acosta, you're sick. Sit down. We know you hate America, just like CNN. So, I miss Trump. He would be doing great right now regarding BuzzFeed, Variety, CNN, all these outlets trashing on Chris Pratt, as well as the great things they're doing over there at Amazon Prime by pushing this type of content. Audience scores, though, tell a different story, as you would expect, because the left don't understand America. The left don't get Americans, especially conservative Republicans, but hell, they are totally wrong here because the show is boasting an impressive 93% approval rating, folks, on Rotten Tomato. So, you know, I'm so baffled at 37% compared to 93% people. It's probably even higher because you don't have people like me going on Rotten Tomatoes and rating this thing. So the odds are it might be higher. Granted, there is the argument to be had that there's people that watch it that don't like it that aren't going on there and pushing their approval rating or disapproval rating. But damn, 93 compared to 37 isn't anywhere close. Critics don't have a clue, and again, it's typical. Shocked at the harsh reviews from critics, one person wrote. This series was highly enjoyable, full of twists and suspense, and Chris Pratt was great. 100% agree, and I'm only on episode 4 right now. Episode 4 of 8, and this thing is just killing it. Chris Pratt is excellent. This is really a different character for him, and he plays it so well, another person said. I don't get why the critics don't rate this highly. Is it because he's conservative and or Christian? The rating is a complete mystery to me because this, to me, is better than the Jack Reacher series, and I love that one too. I love the Jack Reacher series. There's a new series, not with Tom Cruise, it's out as well. I highly recommend that too. Follows very closely to the book. If you haven't seen or read, I should say, Lee Child's Jack Reacher series, it does follow the book extremely well, and so does the character, the actor. I forget his name. I think he's a former NFL player. Does a phenomenal job. I don't even think he was ever an actor before, and just absolutely kills the role. But look, conservative and or Christian, of course that has something to do with it. Chris Pratt's being ripped right now because of somebody spreading a rumor about some church he went to, as if anybody freaking cares. Leave the guy alone. Let him do his work. He's doing great things. A lot of people love him, including myself. And I am praying, this is kind of a sideball odd kind of thing to throw out there, but I am hoping that he takes over Harrison Ford's Indiana Jones 5 role. I know Harrison Ford's obviously doing Indiana Jones 5. It's already done filming. It's coming out, I believe, next year. But I am hoping they pass the hat on to Chris Pratt, because the deepfakes they've done with that guy for Indiana Jones shows that Chris Pratt could be his kid, could be the next Indy. It is phenomenal. And I just hope, I'm praying that they put him in it. If not, it's definitely a missed opportunity. Critics have no idea what they're talking about in Another Slammed. This show is insanely good. Could not stop watching. That's how I feel right now. I wish that I could just have binged watched the entire 8 episodes. Excellent story and acting. From critics' score, you could tell they have sold out their morals and never should be trusted to give an unbiased review. We've been saying this for years. I mean, this has been going on for over a decade, maybe 2 decades at this point, on their reviews. Not just on conservative and Americana shows, but just shows in general, even things that are just good, get terrible reviews from them. Just look at the Oscars and the films that are nominated, and everybody's kind of looking around going, did anybody actually see that? I mean, it wasn't even the top 10 of the box office, and that's what's going to be going up for an Oscar. We see the same thing when we vote for the SAG Awards, when we get the screeners, and you're kind of like, these are the people that are being nominated. I mean, did nobody watch this other film over here that was vastly better, a lot better acting, but because, again, this pushes an LGBTQ diversity cast narrative that people have to meet a certain quota, then that's the one that we have to vote on. I've just stopped voting for the SAG Awards because I'm so tired of it. It's so refreshing to watch a show that actually focuses on the subject the show is meant to be, instead of delivering some social justice BS lecture, wrote another person. 100%. Well, here is the proof of the 37% average tomato meter compared to the 93% average audience score. Can you get any more of a freaking discrepancy right there? Brandon Morris at Red State said that the show was bound to draw ire from the left. Not only does it star a man that they hate for some of the dumbest reasons imaginable, but it also looks like a military man with a kind eye and an unapologetically fun film that he's producing. He's an executive producer on the film, if you didn't know, Chris Pratt is. Nowadays, this is a sin to be blue check mark left with demands that every piece of work carry its message in some way, shape, or form. And if it doesn't, then you're going to be ousted. And it's crazy that Chris Pratt has not been removed from Hollywood as a conservative or Republican that pushes and supports our troops and veterans, because there are so many right-wingers that have been blacklisted that just won't be hired. And I think because Chris Pratt makes so much money for companies at the box office, that money generally wins over people's morals. Look at the NBA, look at Disney, look at these other film companies. And that's why Ricky Gervais during the Golden Globes one year made the joke that if ISIS ever started a production company, that a lot of them would go over and work for ISIS because of the money. And that's just really what it comes down to. It has nothing to do with morals, it has nothing to do with any of that. If you could just make people money, then that's where you're going to go. Now, that doesn't always follow as linear logic, because you look at Disney Plus and what they're doing, pushing this LGBTQ plus trans community thing with Buzz Lightyear, with the Marvel films that they're now doing, and people are just leaving in droves because they don't want to see it. And that's why they didn't go see Buzz Lightyear, because of the agenda that they're pushing. They want to go see Top Gun. They want to go see things like Chris Pratt is doing, whether that's Jurassic Park or Jurassic World or whatever, but even more reasonably what he's doing here with the Terminal List. There is a demand for it, and they haven't woken up to it. If Daily Wire's listening to this, you need to do a military film. Forget all this other foo-foo stuff that you're doing. I like it. And I think Terror on the Prairie was good stuff, and your series that you do with Matt Walsh and stuff is great as well for What is a Woman. But you need to start doing this. You can do it cheaply done. You're basically billing for special effects. You go out in the wilderness. You don't got to pay for the sound studios and all that stuff. Just go out there, get something done. People are going to like it. It doesn't even have to be high production value. If you tell a good story, it's about a military, pro-Americana, people are going to watch it and love it. I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Bald Brad Show. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all our future content.